Gropey pervert Bill Clinton just weighed in on the border issue in New York, and he's taking the conservative side. What happened to this guy? We'll find out together. I'm Doug. Welcome to Exile. Let's get through some news. Thank you guys for subscribing, giving us comments, follows, stars, thumbs up. Do it all, guys. Headline: Bill Clinton backs bid to change New York City's right to shelter law, given migrant crisis. Quote, we need to fix it. I could get all these comments from right wingers, but to me, to get them from left wingers, when left wingers start saying what right wingers say, you go, that's the left just totally owning themselves, saying we have destroyed everything. We created a migrant crisis in New York and something has to change. We did it. And that's why I'm laughing at Bill Clinton, America's favorite predator. This is from the New York Post. Quote, Democrat former President Bill Clinton acknowledged Sunday that New York City's progressive right to shelter law needs to be amended given the migrant crisis. So we've already heard this from Eric Adams, that New York is being overrun. And now they're going to start losing elections. They're going to lose votes. People are suffering. Even the illegals that are there are suffering. Here's Bill Clinton, quote, Governor Kathy Hochul thinks it should be modified, and it probably should under the circumstances. The issue is currently in litigation with advocates for the homeless and asylum seekers opposing any significant rollback of the law. So it's the liberals now that Clinton is having a problem with, Hochul is having a problem with. People to their left are saying any change or any rollback of these asylum seekers is a problem. You're racist, basically, is what they're going to call them, including Clinton. And Clinton said the problem is migrants have to wait months to get work permits to the shelter. So the shelter needs to be relaxed. The rules need to be relaxed to give them work permits. That's the big change he wants to make, not build the border. Or militarize the border. You're going to hear some other ideas he has, lunatic stuff he has, ideas for the border to fix it. But right now, he wants to speed up the work permits he's going to give to illegals. I want to just combine that with recent news out of California, where California just said they're going to raise the minimum wage to $20 an hour. So now, as you know, the minimum wage jobs, things like at McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell, work labor, it is now going to be you're going to force Americans and businesses to pay recent immigrants $20 an hour. This is the biggest tectonic shift in America's makeup that they're going to have. And I don't even want to go into the voting yet, okay? Because there's a lot of people on my right, because I'm a Republican conservative, a lot of people going like, oh, they just want the votes. They just want the votes. No, you go into the Hispanic community and tell them that the Democrat Party is for same-sex marriage and for changing the gender of taking away their children and changing their gender. And the Hispanics will vote Republican every time. So even though right now they vote Democrat, it's totally jaded by Democrats to think, and overly skeptical of Republicans to think, that Hispanics are going to forever vote Democrat. It's just not necessarily true. Put on my smart guy glasses. Bill Clinton says it's broken. We need to fix it. It doesn't make any sense, he said, of the system. They come here and we're supposed to shelter people who can't get work permits for months. We need to change that. They ought to work. They need to begin working, paying taxes and paying their way. Most of these people have no interest in being on welfare. I don't care how many of them want to be on welfare and take advantage and be in our schools. Look, if I was in some third world hellhole, I'd want to be here too. Okay, so I never blame the immigrant for saying, look, if you're going to open up a hole in a fence, and I can take my whole family in here and give them the greatest life known to man, I would do it. Okay. It is breaking the law, but there are things that are more important than following the law. And that's like feeding your kids and not having them raised in some weird third world prison society. I understand why they're coming here. Now, us giving them jobs and opening the holes in the fence, that's where we're crazy and self-destructive. In the beginning, I tried to help Mayor de Blasio, but he decided that he was more progressive than he thought I was, whatever that means. Oh, I know what that means. That's good internal fighting on the left. We have it on the right too, where who's more farther to the right? I'm farther to the right than most of you. And in Trump and in Clinton's case, de Blasio is saying, I'm more to the left of you and that I'm going to be even softer on immigration than you. The ex-president said that either way, Biden and the Democrats are taking a political hit for the chaos at the border and an immigration system that is clearly incapable of solving the crisis. Good. We want the Biden administration to be demolished over the border. I want to keep underlining that the border is wide open, that we have no border, that was Biden deliberately 2 years ago and the hard leftists that are trying to reorganize America, recreate America in some new image, disastrously so, and evil. Clinton continues, the U.S. immigration system is built to handle about 400,000 immigrants. We should build more housing just over the Rio Grande and Mexico. This is just psycho. I think we would support that, he said. Keep people there and let them in as quick as possible if they're going to some place where we know they can get a job and they'll be welcome. Clinton wants us to build shelters for them over in Mexico to live in. And he only wants 400,000 of them to come over. We're talking about 10 million illegals coming over right now. That's a lot more than 400,000, Bill. That's a lot of housing. You're going to build an entire city down in Mexico to wait to pick your immigrants up. This is all wishful thinking. They live in la la land. He has no idea how critical, how crucial, first of all, how bad things are in Venezuela and Guatemala that's causing all these people to come up here. But now he's going to have us build shelters in Mexico. We're going to fund it. Look, I say build a wall, electrify it, put armed guards in our army all around it, put a moat around it, fill it with alligators and crocodiles, and even more electric fencing before that one. Quote, Clinton says, chaos has been very beneficial for Republicans. Whose fault is that? Look, he's angry Republicans are benefiting from Democrats pooping the bed so bad on the border. That's not the Republicans' fault. Okay, Republicans are the only alternative to your psycho policies of the left. Quote, we have a negative birth rate in America, and this is evil and psycho. Clinton implies that because Americans aren't having babies that we need to bring in more Hispanics. How about get Americans to have babies instead of killing them, Bill? He says, if that happens, the only way to keep our economy growing is either with immigrants or machines, he said. Look, Democrats see people as slaves and machines anyways. You can see already, like, his only warning that the law is being broken is that we need these immigrants, as Nancy Pelosi says, to pick our fruit. They see them as slaves, not as a voting class or a citizen or human beings, but a permanent, like Jawas in Star Wars. They want them to permanently just collect junk, dump our trash, put on new roofs on our building, work fast food. Bill Clinton is just a scumbag, and probably one of the greatest moral declines in Americans' history fell under his watch. Like and subscribe if you guys dig what you're hearing. Stay with me right here in Exile. We will get to this together, but it's funny to see Clinton concede all of this stuff and just say the left, we blew it. The right are winning on this one. I'm Doug in Exile.